it. So that was 2x squared. 2x squared, and then it was plus 4x minus 70, right? Is that first one that we had? So we did solve it by factoring. We got our answers. We got -5, and we got 5 and -7. I just want to show you on your calculator how to find those solutions. So what you first have to do is you have to make sure your equation is set equal to 0. Then you can go and look at the graph, and we can kind of see possibly where some solutions are. So here's how you can tell where the solutions are from the graph. All you're looking for is those x-intercepts. So we've got a solution at this point right here, and then there's our second solution at that point. So when you graph it, you're looking for where those x-intercepts are. You can also look at your table. If you think about the x-axis, every point on the x-axis has the same y-coordinate. What is the y-coordinate of every point on the x-axis? What is it? A 0. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for where is y equal to 0, because we're setting these equations equal to 0. If you hit second table, you can go into your y over here and you can find where is my y equal to 0. There's one of my solutions, 5. My second solution, I have to go up on the x's here. My second solution is at -7. So you can look in your table, where is my y equal to 0? So those are some basics you can do to solve by graphing. Now if we head back to our practice, let's look at number 8. So number 8, we got x squared plus 4x minus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to put that into my y equals. Then I'll slow down so you can get caught up here. And we graph it. So you can see in our graph that we have two solutions. Remember, when you graph it, visually you're looking at where is it crossing the x-axis? Right there. And right there are my two solutions. Now I know these calculators aren't very high def, but if you look close, they're not crossing perfect right at an integer mark on the graph up there. They're kind of crossing in between. And if you try to do the little trick with the table, you try to look at, well, where's y equal to 0? You start looking at all your y's. You can't see exactly where y is equal to 0. So here we have a decimal answer, or we have an irrational answer. So here's the next way that you can find solutions using your calculator. You guys ready? You guys got this one typed in or not? So if you want to follow along with me, you can, or else you can just watch as I do it. But we're going to have x squared plus 4x minus 1. So this one does not factor. It does not give us those nice solutions where we can just look in the x or look in the y column for where y is 0. So to solve and find these solutions, we are going to hit second, calculate. And we are looking for the 0. So you're going to hit second, trace. If you missed that, you're going to hit second, trace, and then we are going to go to the option that says 0. So here's where that synonym terminology comes in. X-intercepts, zeros, solutions, roots, they're all meaning the same thing. So 0 is our solution. That's what we're looking for. You're going to hit enter on 0. Then it's going to ask you left bound, right bound. So if we're looking for this 0 right here, left bound means I need to have my blip, my little blippy thing that's blinking there. I need to have that somewhere to the left of where it crosses that x-axis right there. So right now my blip, if I think about a line being drawn like a barrier, my blip is to the left of where it's crossing. So I'm going to hit enter on left bound. Then it's going to ask me right bound. Well, right bound, I have to kind of scroll to the right, which is going to bring me above the x-axis, and I'm going to hit enter. So now it's kind of made a barrier of where my solution is. So it's somewhere between that left barrier I set up and then that right barrier I set up. Just like the other calculations, it's going to ask us for a guess. You can try to scroll to where it crosses the x-axis, or you can just hit enter. That's fine. So we'll hit enter, and we're only looking at the x coordinate. There would be our solution. So our solution would be x is 0 point, and I can't see what to round to, but 0 point, does it say hundredth? 236 would be 0.24 then. So we'll round that to 0.24. There's one of my solutions. To find the other solution, we got to do it again. Hit second calc, we'll go to 0. Left bound, I'm going to bring my blip all the way around to where my other solution is. I'm going to get left of it, which is up here. Then I'm going to get right of it, which would be down here. So now I got the barrier set up with my 0 in between. Hit enter, enter. There's my second solution. X is negative 4.24. There would be my second solution. So if we don't have the graph where it crosses right through a nice number, we have to use our calculate option, and then we can get those two solutions back. Now here's a common mistake. If you get an error message that says bound, that means that you did right then left. You always have to do left side, so you want to get left of it and then right of it, and then you can find out where that intersection is. So if it says error bound, you got to start over, and you got to get that first blip to the left, second blip to the right, and then you have a barrier set up with that 0 in between, and then it'll calculate that 0. We'll try one more. I'm going to go a little faster this time. You can just sit back and watch if you want. So I'm going to put in that second equation. So I'm going to add 2x over, subtract the 1 over. So this one's going to be x squared plus 2x minus 1. So there's going to be my solution, or my equation, excuse me. So all I did was I have to move these two terms, move them over to the other side to get it set equal to 0. So that's what I'm doing first. File, do you have a question?
Yeah, what should our window be?
Zoom 6, so get back to that standard window. If you hit Zoom 6, then you should be able to see all these. So all these are set up to see right in that 10 by 10 window, so you can practice. Okay? So now I'm going to hit x squared plus 2x minus 1. We'll hit our graph. And again, you can see it's crossing between -2 and -3, and then between 0 and 1. So we're going to hit second, calculate 0. Left bound, this is left of that 0 on the right side there. Then I'm going to get right bound, hit enter. So my first solution is 0.41, rounding to the nearest hundredth. So x equals 0.41. And second calc, we'll do the second 0. We'll go left bound over here, right bound under here. So now I got my left bound, right bound set up with the 0 in between. Hit enter, and there's my second 0, 2.41. Sorry, negative 2.41. And there we go. So there's going to be our two solutions. So you sometimes will be able to see they cross perfectly right through the x-axis. You can just go to your table, find the 0, and do it that way. Otherwise, you're going to have to use this calculate option.